Good morning, my computer scientist. I just wanted to give you a quick update as to where we were at. So hopefully you had a chance to brainstorm your idea and you know what you're going to pick. I'm getting a little worried because I haven't really heard from everybody. So what we're doing on day 2, which is on Wednesday, is we are going to research and draft responses for 2C and 2D. So what I wanted to do today was talk a little bit about what is 2C and 2D. So if you look in your packet here, I'm looking at 2C. So you really get 2 points here for identifying, you get 2 points for doing what it says in row 4. So row 4 says identifies a beneficial effect of the described computing innovation and identifies a harmful effect of the computing innovation. Now, why you get points for row 3 is if you only do one. So instead of just making the rubric say like you get 1 point for a harmful and 1 point for a beneficial, they break it up that way. Okay, so you need to use words like a harmful effect of my computing innovation is blah, blah, blah. A beneficial effect of my computing innovation is blah, blah, blah. Okay? You also need to say in 2C, explains how one of the identified effects relates to the society, economy, or culture. Okay, so a society, economy, or culture is basically talking about how that relates to a larger group of people. Okay, a society could be like high school students, or people who drive cars, or people with disabilities, or people who live in the United States, or people who don't live in the United States, people who are poor. Okay, a society is a bigger group of people. Okay, economy is how we're going to relate to, how does that relate to money? Okay, and culture is sort of the same. Now, I wish I would have numbered these pages, but I believe it's the, okay, sorry, give me a second here. It's like the third page to the end here. So this says 2C at the top. Okay, so what I really like here is it identifies culture as a group of people. So like football players, students who have asthma, etc. Okay, economy can be thought of as a group of people with similar economic interests. Okay, and society is trying to avoid saying impacts society, it's too broad. Which society? Whose society? Okay, so think about and hear what's going on. So what this person is recommending is this is sort of a draft of your response. So here's your beneficial effect, who's impacted, how does it affect the society, economy, or culture, and the harmful effect, and how does that affect society, economy, or culture. I agree that the most missed question is really that identifying that society, economy, or culture piece. So I'll be happy to talk to you about that specifically during our web chats. Okay. I also want you to get started on 2D. My kids are still sleeping, so I'm down here on our game table, as you can see in the background here. All right, so 2D. This one wants to identify the data that is being described or the data that's being used. Some notes that I have are, make sure you're using specific data. Think about what a science teacher would claim as data. Like it needs to say, what is it collecting? Is it sound, light, temperature, photos? What specific data is your innovation using? Okay, and how that data is consumed, produced, or transformed. Okay, so be specific. What data does it collect and how does it use that data? Okay, this is for 2D. The other part of 2D, you need to identify one data storage, data privacy, or data security concern related to the identified computing innovation. Okay, so just be specific here. We need a data storage, privacy, or just security concern. Okay, so if I go back to, again, I wish I would have numbered these pages, but if I go back to this page, that's labeled 2D, I kind of like the way that they give some advice, but this is what they want you to draft, okay? So they want you to talk about how/what does it compute? Something like, it takes this blank data and does this to produce it, okay? A security, privacy, storage concern is what? Okay. Some other helpful thoughts. Avoid describing the device that captures the data. A camera is not data. A digital image is. You don't necessarily need to know the format of the data. Okay. For the data security concern, think, what could happen if this data fell into the wrong hands or were used for something besides the intended purpose? Okay. Could individuals be harmed without their knowing? Could somebody or someone possess this information and do something bad with it? Okay. So again, I will be available tomorrow at 10 o'clock to talk specifically with you, but hopefully you have watched this video and you will have some questions. Okay. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.